We're going to see if I can get through this video today without being interrupted. I meant to make this video a while ago. I couldn't because I broke the phone that I intended to do this video with, which has a better camera. And I've had to service, some of you guys know that this is a service shop and I do a lot of repairs, but that one had a break that I couldn't fix. So I had to send that phone out. So I don't want to have this stuff pile up anymore, so we're going to do the video. Today I'm going to show you this thing that I bought, and I kind of tested it a little bit, but this is the first real time that I'm going to use this. What I did was I bought this nice stack of green things on Amazon, and it's just a set of gold panning screens, and starting at the top we've got these meshes, and as we go further down the mesh gets smaller, and it gets down to like 100 mesh, or smaller than that by the time we get to the bottom. So the idea is, I don't know how you guys all tear apart your e-waste. I'm lazy, and I look for the fastest way to do it. So I bought an air hammer, and I will sit here with the air hammer and just take every single thing off the board with this guy. It's really fast, really efficient, really loud, but I can depopulate pretty big boards pretty quick. Stuff flies everywhere, so I kind of had to tape off the back of the desk so stuff doesn't fall down there. But what happens when you do that is you get, you get caps and fuses and pins and all kinds of different, small tiny SMD components and things, and they just go everywhere. And you end up with a pile of crumbles. In fact, for those of you in the e-waste group, I hear the word crumbles once in a while. This is how I'm going to sort the crumbles. We're going to see how it works. Now, I did this with a small assortment of mlccs, and it worked out really well for me. So here's to hoping that it works on camera. So we're going to set that in here, and I had a container. Of course, now I can't find the container I want. So let's go for a walk for a minute and see if I can find the container I'm looking for. Now, if you see, this isn't the container, but I've got some sorted mlccs here and some of the tiny surface mount resistors in here. And the idea is that we can get those things to one container a little easier. If you try to sort all this stuff out by hand, you'd probably go crazy. So instead, you see here we've got a hodgepodge of mlccs. There's a couple of crystals in there. I see tiny ICs. I see all kinds of things. I see resistors in here, tantalum, caps. So there's a lot of stuff already in here. And then I'm going to throw this pile in. Let me set this camera back up while I do that. I'm just going to throw all this stuff right in here. This big pile of stuff. Now, I suppose you could make something like this yourself. These are supposed to be stackable inside of buckets for the panners. I found this one on Amazon. I think this set cost me $100. So we're going to see if this was a giant waste of $100. I'm going to be sticking around e-waste for quite a long time, and I don't really want to spend half of my life in labor sorting these tiny things. So I'm going to move the probably going to spill this. Alright. Just going to set it here, and we're going to look at this for a minute. And as you can see, and some of the ones I did before are going to be down here. They get smaller every time. As you see by the third basket, there's a couple of smaller, smaller ICs already got caught. And by the time we get down here, there's resistors in that one, mlccs in the one below it. So let's see what we get. Sorry that the light is in the way. That's poor. That's from that camera. Let me see if we can go this way. See, I wish I had the other phone. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to try to focus down here. Now, we just poured all that container of stuff in. We're going to give it a bunch of good shakes. Okay. So that's probably it for that assortment. As you can see, in just this first basket, we've got some sort of data connector, a dime that I'm going to go ahead and pocket, a big fuse, and a big cap, but it made it a lot easier, okay? If we go to the second basket down, we've got some caps and a big crystal in here, and some of the bigger, like, missed memory chips that I might not have already sorted. But it makes it a lot easier to pick it out. So, as we go down to the next basket, oh yeah, there we go. We're on the third basket down now. We've got more of those tiny buggers. More. Wish I could get these a little bit more in the view here for you. But a couple of screws I missed. This looks like this is about where we'd catch a bit of tantalum and things like that. So go to the next basket down. What do we have here? Here are some. What I'm seeing is larger resistors. I'm seeing larger surface mount resistors. There's a couple of blue ones like here by my thumb. I don't know if you can see that. If you can't, I'm sorry. Resistors, Zener diode. I just found a gold-plated pen, but it sure makes it a little easier to sort by size. And as you can see, we keep going down, and we're getting closer and closer by category. This one has, here we go, smaller and smaller, still mlccs. And more gold pins made it down here too. But my thought process is if I do one size at a time, I can probably dump one basket out at a time and sort it much quicker than if they were all together. Okay. We're getting down now to the, this is a pretty fine one here. And we've caught quite a few of those really tiny mlccs. These can almost, well, these got resistors, the SMD resistors, like the small ones you see on the side of memory. There's quite a bit of that in this basket. I don't know how much detail you can really see from this old camera. So, but there's quite a bit of that. Now, somebody in group said said that those typically contain silver and palladium, and that they can be processed together. So as far as I'm concerned, I can pretty much dump that whole tray right into one bucket, and we'll get to it when we get to it. And then, geez, we got some real tiny stuff coming. This is the next one. I got to take a look in here myself. I don't even know what I'm looking at. There looks to be, wow. There are some really tiny mlccs here. And probably we're getting into the solder balls that hold on some of the some of the chips. More MLCCs than anything, but it's hard to get it to focus. But they're in there. And somehow, in this tiny, tiny one on the bottom, there's something in here too. And this is incredible that we've got material that's this small. I can't even tell what any of this is. This might just be dust. Let's be honest. I'm not going to waste anything. It's still going to go into acid at some point. Because there could be some more. Yeah, I know. Some of you don't think that MLCCs are worth it. And look, I don't know if you can see it, but oh, here we go. On the very bottom, even all the way to the bottom of the stack, we've got some of this tiny, tiny, tiny debris. Who even knows what that is? But here's my thought. I'm going to be doing this for a while, and I'm going to have components everywhere. Now, I'm working on a different way to depopulate my boards that's going to be messier still than the air hammer, but it'll be less effort. So more on that when we get there. And the other thing, somebody in group suggested baking memory in a toaster oven. This works great. It stinks real bad. But if you bake them and then you take the chip and tap it while it's hot, you need gloves or pliers or something. Everything comes off, MLCCs and all, and so, you know, again, they can just go straight into this. So that's how I've been sorting. If you want to give one a shot, if you're getting a lot of this material, you can jump on Amazon. They come in two different kits. There's a cheaper one that's only got